school in Italy for design. I mean, there's public school for anything else, but as a designer you have to pay. It was quite costly. And I did, I succeeded. I remember I sold my first bag at the age of 16 years old. I made it myself. I went to Santa Croce sul Lano when I was buying leather. There was a whole set of people. I already knew where they were selling all of the cheap goods and everything. So I bought my pieces of leather, I cut it, I made it, I sold it. Eventually, I had worked at the age of 18, my first sweat factory in Italy, and pattern maker, design, production. And I knew this wasn't me. I mean, work in a sweat factory, no way. So I knew I had to learn English, because otherwise you're not going to go nowhere. So I went to England for the first time at the age of 19 for a small trip, and I said, this is it, this is my place, I'm coming back here. Let me go make some money, save a little bit, and I'm coming back. And I came back after 8 months, I saved like 700 lira. At that time was like 500 bucks. To me it was like a lot in my mind. It wasn't that much in London, it lasted I think 2 weeks. And eventually it was very difficult. The first 2 years in London was majorly hard because my learning the language and everything. And I remember I got, we were living in a squat actually at that time because I couldn't afford to pay the rent. And eventually I got some money together and I bought material and I designed my own stuff. And I went for the first time to Camden Town. That's where people were doing things. At that time, Camden was the place to be. And I remember my first day in Camden was a Saturday afternoon. I didn't sell nothing. Sunday, nothing. The week after I come, I said nothing. So what's going on here? About my face, me, my mind went to. So I went to Stefano. Stefano was another guy selling across the street for me. He said, Stefano, how come you making money? You selling shit, because look what you're selling, prison clothes. Look at this, you paint it like this, blue, red, and white, and you're making money. Look at me, look how beautiful my shit is, my stuff is beautiful. So Elena, you didn't get it, do you? Let me explain to you. Look around you and open your eyes. So, look around and really open your eyes. Try to, and I couldn't see nothing at that time. I couldn't see. So, don't you see everybody as a concept? People selling only silver, people selling only shoes, people having only prison clothes, dress, people punk look, people this, You have everything. You have pink shirts, everything is mishmash. Pick something and go with one. And then I heard of it. They don't teach you this thing in school. They teach you how to make stuff, but they don't teach you about concept, idea, all of this other stuff to go with it. So I went home, I toured for a little bit, and I came out with a hat. So I talked to Spencer, recut it, rephrase it, redo it, and I made hats. I was the first one in Camden Town in 1985 making hats in Camden, and I did fantastic. I mean, I really became pretty cool, In like a few months, I saved a couple of $1,000 US, which I went to America, and eventually I met my boyfriends. He became my boyfriend, and eventually I moved there, and I got a job working as a designer in this Jewish company, and he was making a lot of money. And after a couple of months, I went to talk to my boyfriends, and I said, listen, Mari, I think I want a raise. I think I want to go because they're making a lot of money out of my ideas, and I don't like it. I think I deserve more. And my husband was Jew, so he said to me, listen, if you go to a Jew and you tell him you want more money, the first thing he's going to do is going to fire you. So if you want to get fired, go ahead. I said, how can you fire me? I mean, it's making money, So I'm telling you what's going to happen. You're going to go there, you're going to get fired. So I did. I went to the Jew and I said, listen, I don't want much, just like 10 cents, 5 cents a piece. It was like 10,000, 20,000 dresses. They were my ideas, 300 a week. What am I going to do with $350 a week? It's like a charity case. So, the Jew looked at me and said, listen, this is the door, you're leaving next week. Or else you can leave now if you want. He said, I'm not going to pay you. I need 5 cents more, 10 cents, or 1 cent. That was it. That was pretty shocking, right? And I remember, and I went home, and I was really down. How did that work? I was 21, 22 years old, and I couldn't get it, right? And my boyfriend said to me, listen, you want to be a designer, right? So number one, let me show you something. So at that time, there were these concho earrings that he was kind of into this stuff, and he said, okay, this is the concho, they're in fashion, just go and sell it. I said, what do you mean I go sell it? Go to just anywhere, you know, open the door in the shop and go and try to sell it. And I was pretty scared. I mean, it was one thing selling on a stool and you wait that people come to you. But it's another thing to go to them and taking the rejection, right? So Mama was very scared. He said, see the shop over there? Try with that shop over there. He brought me to specific places. Just go in and do it. And I freaked out. And he yelled at me and he said, if you cannot do this, you're not going to go nowhere. I did. I remember it was a panic attack. I went inside and I was crying. And all of a sudden, he walked behind me and the lady on the counter said, hey, Mari, what are you doing to this poor girl? That was a friend of her. I didn't know. They were like, you know, showing me the hard way to... And a few days later, I knew there was these ideas because I proposed this idea to the Jew guy before. And these belts, these elastic belts and everything, it was hot, it was a big thing because I already saw that idea in Italy. It was actually an idea of Gianfranco Ferré of the collection Olia. And I said, this is going to be a good item. I think this is going to catch in, you know, like these ideas and everything. So I went to Mari and I said, I think we should do this item. I think this is it. So we can try. Let's go to my friend Mark. He has a factory. We put 5, 6 pieces together. Let's take a look if it works. So we went to Mark. We put these belts together with the buttons and everything. We did like 20 pieces. We went out, tried to sell it. We sold out in 10 minutes. It was the hottest item ever. We sold in 3 months, I think, 25,000 pieces. It was like unbelievable. I mean, for free for the first time. I mean, I never had it and much money. I didn't know what it was. It was like a shock. And I remember going to this other Israeli guy. They had like 5 shops, right? It became after one of our biggest customers. He was buying like crazy from us. And he said to me, and I remember he brought me downstairs in the basement when he had the big box with the money and everything had to pay me. And he said, no, Mari, I don't want you. I want her to come downstairs with me. I'm going to give the money to her. And he said something very strange to me. He said, listen, you see this money over here? I know this is the first time you're making money, but you see those 2 schnorrer upstairs? That's my mother. That's my mother from Haifa and my brother. Soon they know they had some shops here. They came here. They're waiting for me to die. You understand? That's what's going to happen to you. It was funny. It was his name was Rafi. It was unbelievable. And he said, you know, this is your first money. Treat them wisely. You know what I'm saying? It was like, treat them wisely. This is like, you know, you can do anything with it, but, you know, treat them wisely. Basically, the bottom line, what I wanted to say, actually, the whole story is, I think in life you need 3 things important. It's not just the person who have an idea. It's also the person who write it and the person who do it. It's like you have 3 partners with you. You cannot do everything by yourself. And this is my story. New York City, 1986. Thank you. Thank you. My name is Anna Sarasti.